Hello everyone! In this lesson, you will learn special uses of gerunds and infinitives. Let's first get started with the text titled Being Lost Can Be Awesome. In this text, we will see some examples of gerunds and infinitives. Now just try to concentrate on the use of gerunds and infinitives in this text as I'm reading. The most exciting thing to feel about traveling for me is the delicious sense of disorientation, that Alice in Wonderland sense. For me, getting lost in a strange place isn't the worst thing to experience. I like the sense of being totally cut off from the predictable world of my everyday life. In the current issue of Travel and Leisure magazine, I have a short article talking about how to travel without navigational aids and how this can boost your awareness of the world around you. It can be awesome to be lost. So we add ing after verbs sometimes, or we add to before verbs sometimes, and these have some different purposes. Remember, for example, we use gerunds after prepositions about traveling, or sense of being, we say. Or we reduce a relative clause, as in the example here. I have a short article which talks. Instead of saying which talks, we say talking. Or remember the use of infinitives. We can shorten a noun clause by adding to infinitive before the verb. I have a short article talking about how you can travel without navigational aids, for example. It could be you can travel, but instead of saying you can travel, I just reduce it to travel. And how about this one, being lost, and this one, to be lost? These are the special uses of gerunds and infinitives, and in this lesson you will learn them all. Let's first remember how gerunds are used. As you may remember, we use gerunds as the subject of a sentence like swimming, and it is always singular. We say swimming is healthy. We don't say swimming are, for example, okay? Or we can use it after certain verbs. I admit being rude to you. Remember verbs like admit, appreciate, love, like hate, they are followed by a gerund. Or we can use them after prepositions like on or of. He went on sleeping. He was accused of stealing the money. Or we can use it after go. I go running, I go swimming, I go walking, we can say. After certain expressions like it's worse or I can't help, remember, we also use gerund form of the verb. It's worth trying. I can't help thinking about it. Or after some linking words like despite, in spite of, remember, or because of, thanks to, okay, we add a gerund again. With participle clauses, we use gerunds. This green part is called a participle clause. It can show the cause of something or the first action. Let's now see the special use of gerunds. We can use gerunds in the active form as in the example here. What does active mean? I hate telling what to do. I tell what to do and I hate it, okay? This is the active form. When we look at the passive form, this is the special use of gerunds. I hate being told what to do. Somebody else tells me what to do and I hate it, that means, okay? In this one, we use the typical verb ing, but in this one, we use being plus verb 3. Let's do some practice together to differentiate between the active and the passive form. Which one means I love it when somebody else gives me presents, and I love it when I give presents. Let's see the options. And you see, given means I give presents. I love given, I love it, and I give presents. But here, being given is something different. I love it when somebody else gives me presents, that means. So this one is an active gerund and this one is a passive gerund. Let's move on with another example. Which one means somebody else lies to me and I hate it? I sometimes lie, though I hate it. Let's see the options. The first one is I hate lying, but from time to time I do it. The second one is I hate being lied to. Let's see the answers. I sometimes lie means I hate lying, and I hate being lied to means somebody else does it and I hate this. So you see, the first one is an active gerund and the second one is a passive gerund. And now you know the active form and the passive form of gerunds don't mean the same thing. At this point, you can ask me if we can make them negative or not. Please note this. We can make them negative. We can make them negative by adding not before the gerund form. I hate not telling the truth, I can say. Or in passive form, I hate not being told the truth, I can say. Let's now remember how infinitives are used. After adjectives, happy to be, nice to meet you, for example, remember. Or after certain verbs like want, hope, expect, I hope to pass, I expect to pass, I want to pass, I can say also. Or after it plus be plus adjective, it is healthy to eat veggies, we can say. Or after some nouns, one way or one method, I can say, to improve your English is to read novels. With to and enough, the soup is warm enough to drink. Remember, with to and enough, we can also add to infinitive. Or to express purpose, aim, goal. I should save money to buy a new PC in order to buy, so as to buy, that means. And after definite and indefinite pronouns, for example, this is an indefinite pronoun, nothing. There is nothing to do, I can say. After passive form and hearsay reporting, remember we can also use the infinitive form. Giving 2 flowers is believed to bring bad luck. We say to bring after is believed, is thought, is considered, remember. And with reductions, remember, we can also use infinitives, the reductions of noun clauses and adjective clauses. I don't know what to say, I don't know how to do, remember. Or when I say this is the only, the best, or the last thing, I add a to infinitive here. Now that we have remembered how infinitives are used, we can now focus on the special use of infinitives. Infinitives can be used in active or passive form as well. When I say I want to give some advice, to give to verb 1 is in the active form, but when I say I want to be given some advice, to be given, to be verb 3 is in the passive form, and they don't mean the same thing. Let's now see some more examples. Which one means my country wants to be the host, and which one means my country wants to be the guest. And the options are: my country's greatest aim is to be hosted in the Olympics, and my country's greatest aim is to host the Olympics. Ready to see the answers? Let's see. In this one, to be hosted, that means my country wants to be the guest, to be hosted by another country, that means. But when I say my country's greatest aim is to host the Olympics, that means it wants to be the host of Olympics. So you see, this one is passive infinitive and this one is active infinitive, and they have totally different meanings. Let's see one more example. Which one means I'm an employer, a boss, or an employee, a worker? Let's see the options. Because this project should be finished on time, I need to employ new workers. And I'm broke, I'm penniless, I need to be employed as soon as possible. Let's now see which is which. So I'm an employer means I need to employ, and I need to be employed means I'm an employee, okay? This is the active infinitive and this is the passive infinitive. This is active, I need it and I employ because I'm a boss, okay? But here there's passive infinitive because I'm a worker and I need to be employed by somebody else as soon as possible. Please be careful with the meaning, okay? The meanings of these sentence pairs are not the same. I hate telling them what to do doesn't mean I hate being told, or I want to give doesn't mean I want to be given, okay? Here, I hate telling means I tell and I hate, but being told has the meaning of somebody else tells me. I hate being told by somebody else. Or I want to give advice in the active form means I want to advise. But when I say I want to be given advice, that means I want to be advised by somebody else. Please note this as well. We can use get instead of be in passive meaning in spoken English. Let's see the examples. She doesn't hope to be promoted means to get promoted, okay? They have the same meaning. She doesn't hope to be promoted equals to she doesn't hope to get promoted, okay? Or let's take a gerund example. Nobody likes being fired is equal to nobody likes getting fired, okay? You can also use getting or to get while speaking. In this exercise, we are asked to use a passive gerund or a passive infinitive with the verbs in parentheses here. At this point, please stop the video and take notes of your answers, and then play the video and check your answers. Let's start checking. The first one, I didn't expect to be chosen. Expect is followed by to infinitive and verb 3 form of chooses, chosen. The second one, animals in the wild are afraid of. Eat. Afraid of, there's a preposition here. So my answer will look like this, being eaten. And the verb 3 form of eat is eaten, as you know. The third one, it was awful by his rudeness. The verb is insult. There's an adjective here, and I know that adjectives are followed by to infinitive, and I will use passive infinitive here, and my answer will look like this, to be insulted. And the last one, students are looking forward to scholarship. the verb is give. Look forward to. This is not to infinitive, you know. This is a preposition of the verb here. So, after prepositions, we add gerunds, and my answer will look like this. Being given. In the second exercise, we are supposed to rewrite the following using the words given for us at the beginning of each sentence. The first one, she was sorry that she was fired by her boss. Sorry is an adjective, I know this, and it is followed by to infinitive, and I will combine this adjective with the passive verb here, and my answer will look like this. She was sorry to be fired by her boss. The second one, I love it when my best friend calls me. I will combine the verb love with the verb calls here, and I will use passive gerund because love is followed by a gerund, and my answer will look like this. I love being called by my best friend. The third one, he denied that he was given a bribe. Deny is a verb that is followed by a gerund, and I will combine it with the passive verb here, and my answer will look like this. He denied being given a bribe. And the last one. I was fortunate because I wasn't kept waiting for long. I will rewrite it starting with I was fortunate. Fortunate is an adjective, and I know that adjectives are followed by to infinitive form of the verb, and I will combine wasn't kept with fortunate. If you haven't yet given your answer, let me remind you of the negative form here. Please be very careful. Ready to see the answer? I was fortunate not to be kept waiting for long, I'll say. So, in these rewrite exercises, you have seen that it doesn't matter which tense you use. I can say she was fired, but it changed into to be fired. Or he was given a bribe, changed into being given a bribe, okay? The verb tenses reflected here, she was sorry, or he denied. Or in present simple, calls me. I don't say calls here again. I love being called, and I use present simple here. Okay, that's all for now. You can now see the checklist.